seaport. Okay, so this is my factory in Krabi. We are close to the airport. So if you want to join or come to see or visit our site in the future, we will have probably one of the biggest RDF plant in the south. And this is my site and my work and so on. So coming a little bit background about what I'm trying to, or my experience about, you know, teaching all the people or all the collector in Thailand to see about how we deal with non-combustible. Non-combustible means, for example, when you are looking at your kitchen waste or your household waste, only 30% that you can just get them recycling, but the rest you cannot. You need to dump to the landfill. And what we are trying to do is trying to deal with the government. We are trying to deal with the private sector. We are trying to deal with the, you know, power generation, where we can just take all the non-combustible or non-recyclable but combustible to make as a fuel. RDF mean refuel derived fuel. So in the future, what we would like to see is that we can collect all the recycling and we can sell. So that means every non-recycling, you can go pick up and sell it. So that's what we are trying to. In the past, I think in Asia, we didn't have such a law before, but in Europe, we've been working or dealing with that already. And we got more money from subsidy from the government instead of dumping to the landfill, and also instead of you know, reducing the greenhouse gas emitted from landfilling. So this is a lot of our activity. If you are looking at that, or every, for example, like agricultural waste, you can just take it and mix it with our RDF. So we can just make a fuel really more, you know, high heating value, get more fuel, and we can send to the cement industry, what we are doing now. So if we are talking about plastic, when you are collecting plastic, for example, like a label or the sticker of the bottle, you cannot just, you know, sell or recycling them, but you can instead you can make the fuel. Mixing with the biomass, you can get the really good fuel. So that's what we've been working too. And if you are looking at my chart, you can see that the recycling that we are talking about 30%, if we are talking about 100%. And within that 30%, we have plastic about 17%. And the rest we have like kitchen waste for 64%. So that is opportunity that I'm trying to tell you about what is the big potential about making money. So the recycle, for example, if you want to just dealing with plastic, I mean, this is about based on the condition and composition in Thailand. But I think in Malaysia, it's almost the same and similar about the proportion too. So about recycle, we are talking about plastic 17% that is being collected, but the rest probably, you know, leaked to the ocean and so on. So we have another 64% that is mixed between combustible, mixed between kitchen waste, but we can sort it and we can get the combustible waste out, another 30%. So in the future, this 30% will be commercialized and we can sell it too. Now in Thailand, we sell with the 1 to 2 baht, probably 0.2 ringgit per kilogram in Malaysia. So that is our resources at the moment. We just go and get the waste from the dumping side. That is our money at the moment. If we are looking clearly, for example, the recycling that we are talking at the moment, just only 30%. But if we are just trying to see in terms of the government, we can see that not just only the recycling that we solve the waste management, but the rest, we need to deal with the kitchen waste, we need to deal with combustible waste, and so on. So the combustible waste will be soon using as RDF. So giving you a little bit background about Sweden or experience of Sweden and Singapore. Now in Sweden and Singapore, they don't have any waste dumping to the landfill because the landfill will be illegal in the now probably because I've been already there for last time. This is my student who work with waste in Sweden. They burn all waste. Instead, they need to import waste from the UK, 800,000 tons each year. So I mean, we cannot say that RDF will not be really, important in the future, but it will be important fuel in the future. And we found that RDF that is derived from waste contribute about 50% at least carbon neutral, that is we call in Europe, and we are selling carbon neutral at the moment. So, but I mean, it's really successfully been implemented in Europe and in Japan, because this RDF actually we have a lot of problems that we cannot make really high efficiency. But in Sweden, they make district heating. But in Singapore, for example, that is a really good example. They don't have even, land like us, that we have so abundance of the land for house. But now they have a lot of problem with the waste. So they burn all the combustible waste, and they aim to just, make the new island called Semakau. And they've been successfully running the incineration and buying the RDF. So I mean, that is one example of our, future goal and potential, that we are collecting all the non-recyclable waste and selling as a fuel. So making RDF is more complicated, but it's not really your job. You just learn to see that whatever that you're collecting, but you cannot sell as a recycling, and we can burn it. That means you can use that RDF. So this is my background about RDF. So coming to my ocean plastic. So I mean, just going through a little bit quick about our work in Krabi and in the south. Why I've been working with the Wongpanit as a recycling station. We got to know Swiss Foundation from Dr. Somtai, and it's called Jan and Oscar Foundation. Lawrence Pan, she is actually quite famous in Geneva. She came to Thailand during tsunami, and she lost her son during tsunami, and she established the foundation called Jan and Oscar Foundation in order to just have unemployment people and people from the ocean, or for example like Moroccan people who are not really Thai or Burmese or Malaysian, to just have possibility to study and possibility to get a job and so on. So we got to know them, and in the beginning, when we are trying to see about the ocean plastic, when we get them education and they finish, for example, like primary and secondary school, they don't even have an ID, for example, so they cannot work. So we've been thinking about how we can just get them to work, or get them our work, instead of just fishing and drinking and damaging the ocean and so on. Try to swimming into the ocean, hunting the fish and so on. So we have an idea about plastic. We came before plastic pollution that we have been ranking at the 6th of the plastic leakage to the ocean from Thailand. So we start working with the guy from Switzerland and organization. Why we are having scheme of our work is that we're going to collect all the ocean plastic, like water bottle and some other plastic, and we make, or we shade them into the flake and send to one of the company in Swiss. It's called Thai. So that is, for example, we have so many different kind of bottle. Why we use what is really ready to be recycled to just make the flakes and make the palette and makes the black lace or the wash or whatsoever that they make the fashion land in Swiss. And why the rest, for example, like a really yellow or damaged plastic that cannot be used, that is the favorite for the Swiss industry, because we sent all the sample to Swiss university to change the chemical structure in order to make that damage back to work again. So we have a contract with them in the beginning, and we try to work and collecting plastic from the ocean, and we sell first. We can earn a lot of money from selling first to the collector, and then we are selling to a Swiss company who can make use of this as ocean bound plastic. And I'm going through to you, I mean, telling you more about RDF and plastic at the end. So, and then when we found that there is opportunity, we've been working with Swiss company for a year, and then we got to know a partner from France. They've been working a lot with the CO2 emission. They have head office in Paris, selling carbon credit to cosmetic brand and so on. And then we proposed our idea that he came to us during COVID time, because this guy actually, they are struck with the COVID in the beginning when we faced with the COVID, and we cannot, normally they flew between, I mean, Asia, Africa, and Europe almost every now and then, because they are the biggest person for CO2 mitigation. And he's one of the 100 powerful men in Time magazine. And we are proposing our project that if we go, because the ocean plastic previously we got no, or really cheap in order to sell to the center or to the collecting center. But we try to see how we can earn and how we can subsidize or incentivize all the people. And we got an idea that we can sell the plastic offset to the fashion brand in Europe, and starting from PO projects company or Second Life, they actually have their colleagues or they have their client already. So we've been sitting down and discussing. We have a volunteer from a consultant from Boston in Geneva to come and working with us. We have the investor from Swiss who've been working also in Singapore for the banking sector. And we have the middleman that is the selling CO2 to the fashion brand. And we propose our work about plastic offset. And that is one of our client in Spain. They make sustainable brand. It called Eco Off. They make all the church shoes and etc. like a fashion brand like Zara in Spain by using the 100% recycling plastic. So we are now selling to them as ocean plastic. So our plastic, instead of selling at about £1, now we are selling at $1. And it is, for example, about the brand that we are trying to dealing with, because they make 100% shirt and sweater and shoes, bags, etc. from the plastic, recycling plastic. And then we form up with the team. Previously, we've been working on, and I've been working, I mean, as my 50% work in Europe. Last time I've been employed as I've been working as the head of the engineering consultant. So we are trying to see how we can get or see opportunity during COVID selling plastic to the brand or to those who are really interested or dealing with the environment. And I feel like in the future or from now, you probably, I mean, rise to come to the recycling. The world changed already, I think, absolutely changed, because now we go directly to not just only economy, but also we have to contribute to environment, because we have only one world. So that come to so many agreement with our partner in Europe. Mr. Tristan actually is the person who are actually having heads of it in Paris to sell all the credit to many European fashion brand and foods. So at the moment, we are dealing with the quarterly, that is the cosmetic blend, and how we sell them. We ask them to go and see how we been working with fishermen and also the ocean. So what we are trying to sell and tell them that we will be volunteer to, you know, collect all the plastic and sell it to them. They don't want even material, but they will buy as the credit. So all of the plan are interested in, you know, buying our plastic offsets in order for them to contribute their company into plastic offsets and CO2 mitigation at the end. And what they need is that they want those who want to join with this will be certified, because you know, we have a lot of plastic producing. Uh, excuse me, can just hold on a second. I got a call. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm sorry to today actually in Thailand we are holiday. We today is a king birthday, so we are on holiday. So many calling me for oxygen, because we supply oxygen to the hospital too. So I'm I'm staying at home, but talking to you to my computer. So it feel a little bit strange to me, because it's the first time that I'm teaching through computer and talking alone. Apart from last time actually standing on the podium and talking. So I mean, and then we are trying to see how we can increase or how we can get more money from collecting plastic. And we're going to see how we can just, you know, the cost of collecting the ocean plastic. And we are not going to the ocean, or we are not going to the sea, but those, or most of the time, we are collecting from the beach. When we are investigating, or we've been surveyed, we've been looking to the beach, we found that during the monsoon season, we got a lot of waste from the ocean, not just only in Thailand. We also got from Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, India, etc. The same from Malaysia. You will get all the, you know, ocean plastic from the ocean during your monsoon too. So that is one of the idea that we came up with about 3 years ago, and we set up by selling. First, I can say that what is our normal activity, like you learn from Dr. Somthai, you can go and collect all the plastic that is recycling, and you sell to the recycling station. So that is your benefit. At the moment, I think they are buying at about 1 ringgit for PET. I mean, in Thailand, we are buying at 9 to 10 Thai baht per kilogram. So that is what normal or business as usual that we are dealing with. But then we found that most of the time, a lot of collector, they are not really survive with, you know, collecting only plastic. That came up why they need to collect some other thing, like you are collecting plastic bag, box, metal scrap, and aluminum, and so on and so forth. So that is recycling station that they are buying. So I mean, when you are going to collect that, not just only plastic, you can just collect something else. But if we are looking at plastic, it's really cheap in terms of, you know, collecting, because it's really light. And we brought that uh, issue, or we brought that evidence to explain to our partner partner about how they can get or buy our plastic. What we tell them, first, last year we got a plastic offset credit from Caudalie. Caudalie, if you can see from my screen, they makes the cosmetic for women, and they just they use about 600 tons of plastic per year. And the founder of Caudalie been talking to us, and we said that, are you interested to buy our plastic offset? You don't even they don't even know where their plastic container with the powder go or throw to, but they are buying offset in order to just compensate what they use. And that came in the beginning. And then we got that finance in order to just raise the plastic more expensive. So now what we have experienced or we buy from our collector is that we use the market price plus with our incentive about 5 Thai baht, about 0.5 ringgit. I mean, if I'm not really wrong. And to make them more money. For example, last time they brought 100 kilogram of plastic or PET, they got just only about 1,000 Thai baht, but at the moment they get almost 2,000. So and then we successfully implemented that work, and then we are dealing with some other partner like PO, Second Caudalie, and we have a new company established. We call Thai Ocean Plastic Recycling. So now, if I'm talking about collecting plastic, that is our business as usual, that you go and collecting plastic. And from the ocean and ocean bound. The ocean, I'm not talking about digging or diving to the ocean, but from the beach or from the island. And Malaysia is also the island. If you have a really long coastline and beach. So then the ocean bound, from definition of European article something and American, we talk about 10 to 50 kilometers from the beach. So if we are trying to collect or protect all the plastic leakage to the ocean, we get more money. So we propose this proposal to our consultant and to the brand that we not just only the ocean, we also dealing with ocean bound. So that came to the projects that we got the money from European company or European fashion brand company. And then we are selling to Thai Ocean Plastic Recycling. That is my company with my colleagues from Switzerland and France. And then we are selling back to Europe. So what we are dealing now at the moment, we are talking to the brand and other people. For them, for example, like we're going to sign some contract with Nestle probably soon. Tell them about how they can use our recycling plastic with the ocean, mix with the plastic, origin plastic, and makes the new bottle, for example. So that is some source of the concept that we have. Okay. So this is what we've been we've been servicing and working with our partner in the past. If you are looking at what we are working at, we encourage people from the island to just get all the plastic back to the mainland. So to protect all the ocean-bound plastic mean that we try to prevent all the plastic leakage to the ocean. So that means all the concept that we are talking now, because of COVID at the moment, I know that we want to survive first, and survival is, and plus with the benefit will be the plus. So when we are talking to fishermen or to the people from the island, they just feel like, do we have to bring all the plastic that is really light, and we have to pay a lot for the gas, for the boats, and so on and so forth. So how we survive with that? So we say that you can get more 5 Thai baht for, additionally from the market price. And then everyone will bring that instead of, and then we found that instead of you to just go to bring just only the plastic, we are buying also non-combustible. In the beginning, actually, we just want to bring all the waste from the ocean back to the mainland and to just dispose to the landfill. And that is the concept. So, and this is the some of our work that we've been working last year. And the guy on top, he is the sheriff of one of the island we call Lanta. Why we've been working in the beginning, all the, I mean, the government, or I mean, even the diplomatic guy, they are not really interested in our projects. And why we've been working more, they feel like the projects can make the people survive during the COVID time. So, I mean, we now encourage people from the island to just go and collect all the waste from the beach, from the ocean. And if they're going to the sea, or like a fisherman, and they want, now it's difficult to, you know, fish, or to get the fish from fishing industry and so on. Why instead, if they feel like they found a lot of raw flip-flop and so on and so forth, they can bring it to us. We buy everything in order for them to survive, and then we sell this credit back to our partner. And the sheriff is actually one of the guys who are trying to go and collect all the waste for us. So that is some example that you can see from, I have the real example with me too, so I can show you at the end of my presentation. So, I mean, if you can see from this, to encourage, I mean, the plastic, we have so many kind of plastic. If you can look at this picture, we have rope, we have so many different kind of rope. And you have PP plastic, we have PE plastic, that is fishing nets. The PP plastic we call from poly rope. At the moment, for example, in Thailand, they buy it's really cheap. So that's why all the fishermen, they dump to the sea, and they will come to the beach during the monsoon season. And you don't believe that we got 100 tons of fishing net. And instead of fishing net, you can see the flip-flop on the right-hand side. We have a lot from the monsoon. The flip-flop, actually, they mess up so many different plastic that we cannot recycle. What we did previously, we just dispose and dump to the landfill. And then we propose to the collector that instead of having or throwing them to the ocean, so get it back to us. We are buying with 3 baht per kilogram. And we have the, you know, we have a truck plane to just help them to carry or get it to the land, because the pier that we are going to is not really, you know, easy. So before going ahead with some other slides, I can show you a bit about my video about our projects and the run-on project. Is it okay, Michelle, to run my video?
Yes, you want me to play your video?
Yep.
Okay. Please let me know if this is the correct one.
Okay.
Oops. Sorry, Seksan. Was that the correct video?
Yeah, let me just I'm sorry to run again my video.
So I will share your video, yeah?
Did you see my video?
Yes.
Okay. So this is when we have
a lot of buffering. The video is not running.
Yeah, I mean, this is a new video that I just sent to Mitchell this morning. When we have set up the program, we make this video to just tell the fisherman, to tell the collector on the beach to understand and to know what we are working. to make sure, did you see my video?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this video is actually really quick or really short, because we just try to promote our work to everyone that is really involved with us, and to understand, because collecting waste in Thailand is not really easy. That is a lot of people involved, and people in the it's difficult to just go and collect the waste that is the property of the of the nation, and so on and so forth. So we try a lot in the beginning to just communicate our work with the government sector and the private sector in order to get everyone involved with us. And that is one of the video that I'm trying to see. And the video that I'm going to share next will be the video that we've been working together with the foundation in Ranong, where you can see what is the concept of the work and the concept of the ocean-bound plastic that we've been working. Did you see my video, Michelle?
Yes, can.
Part of our marine program involves working on the marine plastics issue through a project we call MAR Plastics, which is a project with 4 major pillars: building knowledge products to understand the issues at a national level, looking at the policy and policy options for managing solid waste and plastic, looking at capacity development around solving complex issues relating to plastic waste. And that's where we talk about the circular economy projects. The MAR Plastics has invested in piloting a number of projects. In Asia, we work in Thailand and Vietnam. And in Thailand, the project that we support is in Ranong province.
The Anaskar Foundation was founded in 2005 after the tsunami, and we financed the construction of a primary school on Koh Lao for young Moken. And now, 15 years after, we have young adults or teenager Moken that most of them don't have ID cards, and our goal is not easy for them to find a job. So our goal was to provide them with some job opportunities. And our first idea was, okay, maybe we could set up a vocational school. And teach them, how to work with buying or selling waste, to sell recyclables. And that was our first goal. And we met with Dr. Somthai, the founder of Wongpanit. So we went to Phitsanulok, followed his training course, and then decided with 5 Moken, from 5 young Moken. And then we decided to start the project in Ranong. So we rented a warehouse in Ranong and started the project as a Wongpanit franchise. So buying and selling waste, as a Wongpanit franchise.
ซึ่งที่วิสาหกิจชุมชนเพื่อสิ่งแวดล้อมที่เราทำกันอยู่นี้นะครับคือเรามีเป้าหมายในการลดขยะโดยเฉพาะขยะทะเลนะครับโดยเฉพาะพลาสติกนะครับซึ่งเราก็จะรับมาทั้งในส่วนของฝั่งระนองแล้วก็ส่วนของเกาะซึ่งณตอนนี้ที่เราทำอยู่ก็จะเป็น 70% อยู่บนฝั่งระนองและ 30% จากเกาะครับ
The first issue was that there is no value in this ocean plastic. Nobody wants to buy it. So, and to start a project, you need a buyer. It's not that difficult to find waste or to collect plastic, but if you have no buyer, I mean, it's not worth starting the project. And so 2 years ago, I met with Javier Goicoechea, the founder of EcoAlf in Bangkok at a conference. And EcoAlf is a Spanish sustainable fashion brand. So Javier told me, okay, it could be a good idea to work together. So I said, okay, great, that's fantastic, you know. So we can start the project. So we have now, we can collect plastic, and we have a buyer, and make some products, T-shirts or shoes, you know, with those bottles.
Its objective is to improve circularity in terms of the PET and nylon plastics, which are commonly found in the marine environment. And we're looking at systems where we can incentivize the retrieval of these plastics, that they can be upscaled and used in new products. And this is the contribution, looking at models that can reduce the amount of plastic in the oceans and in the coastal areas.
Yeah, my first idea was, okay, we are working with the Moken, with young Moken, they're fishermen. And we have these plastic issues, you know, all over the world. And the goal was, okay, let's try to connect, you know, the Moken and the plastic pollution, and to find a solution.
ได้จากที่เกาะกับที่นี่ก็คือแตกต่างกันก็แบบที่เกาะก็แบบบางครั้งก็ไม่มีอะไรเลยครับรายได้ก็แบบที่นี่ก็ยังมีรายได้ตลอด
ความท้าทายในการทำโครงการนี้นะครับหลักๆแล้วก็น่าจะการเข้าไปให้ความรู้กับชุมชนกับชาวบ้านเองที่ว่าเราดำเนินการอะไรอยู่แล้วเราต้องการที่จะมีเป้าหมายอะไรในอนาคตนะครับก็คืออยากที่นอกจากที่จะให้ทางชาวบ้านหรือตัวคนเก็บเองเนี่ยเขามีรายได้เพิ่มแล้วยังอยากจะให้เขามีองค์ความรู้ด้วยว่าเขาจะต้องคัดแยกขยะยังไงแล้วก็ลดขยะยังไงในชุมชนแล้วก็ในสิ่งแวดล้อมครับ
มาวันแรกๆมันยากค่ะแยกไม่ถูกเพราะว่ามันหลายประเทศค่ะแต่ต่อไปเรียนไปก็ดีขึ้นไม่ได้ยากแล้วค่ะ
ธนาคารขยะเนี่ยแรกเริ่มเดิมทีเริ่มมีก็ปี 2561 ที่ทางคุณมิเชลนะคะร่วมกับทางวิสาหกิจชุมชนได้เข้ามาพูดคุยผ่านทางผู้ปกครองของนักเรียนนั่นคือคุณลุงเท่งอันดามันนะคะซึ่งท่านเป็นผู้ปกครองนักเรียนแล้วก็ท่านดีลตัวนี้อยู่กับทางคุณมิเชลคราวนี้เนี่ยทางคุณมิเชลก็ได้มาขายไอเดียว่าต้องการที่จะให้ทุนในการที่จะก่อสร้างธนาคารขยะซึ่งตรงส่วนนี้ทางท่านผู้อำนวยการท่านก็เห็นดีด้วยเพราะท่านมองว่าการที่จะทำอะไรให้ยั่งยืนเนี่ยเราจะต้องมีสถานที่ในการดำเนินงานที่ชัดเจนแล้วมันจะทำให้สามารถคงอยู่ได้ค่ะ
เหมือนกับว่าในการดำเนินชีวิตประจำวันของเราเนี่ยมักจะมีขยะอยู่เป็นประจำไม่ว่าจะเป็นกล่องโฟมกระดาษเอกสารหรือว่าสมุดหนังสือที่ว่าเราไม่ใช้แล้วขวดน้ำพลาสติกจากที่ว่าเราจะใช้ในการทิ้งนำกลับมาพัฒนาปรับปรุงเปลี่ยนรูปแบบในการนำมาขายหรือว่าเราจะปรับเปลี่ยนเป็นการสร้างเสริมรายได้ให้กับตนเองค่ะ
สิ่งที่เด็กมาเล่าให้เราฟังสิ่งที่ผู้ปกครองมาเล่าให้เราฟังเมื่อวันที่เราเรียกประชุมผู้ปกครองหรือการที่เราลงไปเยี่ยมบ้านเขาให้คำชมเชยกับทางโรงเรียนมากเขาบอกว่าลูกเขาเนี่ยกลับไปเนี่ยขวดทุกประเภทจะแยกหมดเลยและล้างทำความสะอาดเพื่อที่จะใส่ถุงเพื่อที่จะมาฝากที่โรงเรียนและเมื่อได้สตังค์เขาก็เอาไปออมเอาไปฝากที่ธนาคารโรงเรียนหรือแม้เอาไปหยอดกระปุกที่บ้าน
มันหนูเห็นขยะตอนที่ต่างๆหนูอยากให้เคลียร์ทุ่มหมดเพราะว่าพวกหนูทำอยู่ที่นี่แยกขยะเก็บขยะน่ะรู้สึกไปเจอที่อื่นน่ะหนูอยากให้เก็บหมดเลยค่ะ
So for the last 12 months, because the project started, let's say, last January, you know, and we have collected more than 130 tons, you know, and so I think we are quite proud of this achievement because, I mean, 1 year ago, we're starting almost from scratch. So I think it's, yeah, we're quite happy about this achievement, yeah.
So one of the things that we've learned in the project, in the Jan and Oscar project here in Ranong, is that people need incentive and understanding in order to be able to take part. In fact, most people wouldn't see plastic as having a value, or they may only see that the water bottles, the PET bottles have value. So part of the discussion is about creating that understanding that in fact plastic is a material that can be used again and has a value. And to do that, we're really looking at making those market connections. Because if there are products being demanded that use recyclable plastic, then there will be a constant and stable demand and price for recyclable materials.
So yeah, plastic pollution is a very serious issue, and I think recycling is not the goal, I mean the final goal. I mean recycling, we need to educate the young generation and also adults, you know, to use less plastic, or to teach them how to recycle, that plastic has a value, and it takes time. Yeah, it takes time, and but for sure education is also an important part of for work, you know, at the foundation, and we need to educate the young generation, and yeah, that's also one of our goals. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi again, Michelle.
Yes, Dr. Seksan.
Do you still with me, right?
Yes.
So that is a video that, you know, in the beginning when I'm telling to you all that we have some idea that we want to start something over the past 3 years, and then we've been working first with the money from foundation, and with also my, I mean, as my company, we spend our own company budget in order to just, you know, make all the projects survive in the beginning. And what we learned is that, and Michelle and we've been publishing our work through every social media and also conference. And then we got to, I mean, we met with the Spanish plans and European plan, and also the carbon footprint consultancy and so on. And our project is been interested to them. It's quite interesting. And we applied from Ranong Recycling. We applied for the funding to IUCN, and we are granted. We got some million to run the projects. That's why you can see IUCN be part of our involved. And what we try to do that at in the second step previously, we get all the PET bottle to send to one of my factory to make the flakes, in order to just to clean them and to just make value added. In Thailand, we make the flakes. If you are looking at the cycle, if I'm saying already, you know, slow, you are looking at a PET bottle, you can go and see that in order to make the bottle, you need to have the raw material that is a plastic to just inject and make the bottle. And that bottle can be recycled if we know the type of the material. You need to understand what is the PET, what is the PP, and what is the PE. Because it's of the plastic, we have better or we have different price. From most of the of us, we buy everything and we sell with, or we buy with the with incentive of another 5 Thai baht, for example. But for PET, that is really popular amongst the fashion industry. So we try to make or increase the value of the PET by making the flake and sending to Swiss, because I mean, to be honest, actually, the European brand, they don't believe in our quality and standard and etc. So we test by sending a trucks to Swiss in order for them to go and get our PET to check with university in Zurich, and that is one chip that we send to Thai Ocean in Switzerland in order to see. And why we've been running our project with you know, in the first 2 years is quite okay with us, and we got other partner, for example, like IUCN, GIZ, and I mean with some other partner. So now it's become bigger. Become bigger mean that some other organization or probably non-profit organization like NGO, they saw that they also been working with their work. For example, like IUCN work with Coca-Cola in some island in order to collect all the bottle or the PET bottle plastic bag. Instead of just because, I mean, now the brand, they consider a lot for, you know, about their products. For example, if they found a lot of people take a photo that we have a lot of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, that is, to be fair, we need to compare to, in order to, if they just show the video that they have a lot of Pepsi and Coca-Cola floating on the ocean, so they feel like it's really feel ashamed in order to get them back. So they just work with IUCN in order to educate the people first. So I mean, what we are trying to do, we go on site, tell them what they can sell, what they cannot, and how they can sell what they cannot. We are going to sell them. We are going to buy them. I'm sorry. And for what they can just sell for recycling, we can add more money. And I mean, we have like the partner, the networking with IUCN, European Commission, GIZ from German, and some other partner that we've been sitting and working together in order to expand our collaboration. And then it's come to the frameworks with the, you know, with bigger picture. For us now, we are working and aiming for not only the Andaman Sea, but we are also extend our work to some other ocean-bound location like in the Northeast, in Rayong, Chonburi, and so on. So it's come, I mean, before the COVID, we've been discussing about how we collaborate, because IUCN, they have a budget, but they cannot say, they cannot buy because they don't have a lot of budget in just to buy as a businessman or to buy as a recycling center. What they can do just only, you know, finance all the organization or the company who want to make a research or invest in their people to just go to the island and educate people or tell people what they have to sort it instead of burning. You know, burning, when we are talking about incinerating or incineration of RDF, we find and we burn the waste in the control system where we can get the energy back to use as electricity and heat. But at the present time, in the ocean or on the beach, they just burn openly. It's like they just makes a lot of CO2 and you know, emission to the ocean. So IUCN, then we found that it might be better to have them on board as a partner, because they are really worldwide recognition, and they can just spread our word. It's like if you watch from the video, Maeve mentioned, Maeve, that is a Asia director for IUCN. She said that she went to our office and talking about our collaboration extension work to Koh Yao Island and also in Trang Island and some other island that they've been working with, you know, some of the seagrass and so on. And I asked, we are not actually applying for any grant from them, but what we want from them is that connection. So they can just connect us with some other partner or the buyer. The most important for the plastic or ocean plastic is the buyer. So no matter we are talking, teaching, sorting, anything, if you don't have the buyer, that is ridiculous. So that means we need to go and find the right buyer. The buyer at the moment we have in Thailand, we have the Indian and Chinese industry who makes, you know, the pallet. I think you know IVL Indorama, that is the biggest player in the world for the PET bottle. When I'm talking about the PET, I mean, that is actually the most popular plastic bottle in the market. But even in the fact, you can get the PP that is like a PP plastic that is a lot about sharing 50% of the plastic stream from the ocean. But that plastic we can sell at about 15 Thai baht too. But the PET is like the fashion, the fashion plastic that we can send to the big company, and the fashion industry can use it as the mix with the origin. So from the PET, then we have met with so many people in Thailand now. Before COVID, I mean, probably 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months before, we've been working with the people from DOM, that is the Ocean Department of Thailand or something, and IUCN and Pollution Control Department, in order to get everyone involved with our projects. And IUCN came to us, and what we use it that as we have a limited budget too, to just go, and we are not really, charity. We are making money or profit for our company. So we collaborate with IUCN, and IUCN is the person who need to educate people from the island. They need to go and teach them how to sort all the plastic, because the plight of the bed, that is the highest plight. If they sorted clearly, they can sell it with 15 Thai baht as with incentive, for example, and they can sell the PP with about 12 Thai baht, for example. So if they mix them together, we need to take 3 baht, let's say, like I mean, you can divide it by 10 if you want to change to the ringgit. I mean, that is simply. So, I mean, if we are talking about the sorting 3 baht, we found that, okay, if we educate the collector to understand, like you guys that you are joining me today, that you understand that you sort everything and put into different bags, you can get 3 more baht. So that means you can just using your time staying at home during COVID, sorting the plastic and waste, and then you can just sell them in different category. For example, PET, PP, fishing net, poly ropes, and waste. So I mean, that is our responsibility working with IUCN in the area that IUCN funded the projects. So now we are going to Trang, that is Got Gradan in Andaman Island, in Andaman Sea. We try to promote our project together with IUCN, that is having a guy on site who can just, try to implement these projects with. As the collector, we will be the one or the dot that is connecting between the local collector and in the middle. And the other issue is that we are just, the factory in Krabi. If we go and pick it up, it will destroy the market. So what we need to concern in this issue, we need to just talk to the local collector to ask everyone to join with us. We don't want to make any competitor, because everyone just do the job and try to, reduce all the plastic leakage to the ocean. So we will not let them alone, but we try to invite them, but they need to understand our mechanism, that they need to buy and keep a really true or honest plight to the collector. Most of the time, or oftentimes, the collector is actually buying the product with really cheap plight and then selling to us with the market plight. For example, during on the island that we've been talking to the collector, we was told that they can sell just only 1 to 2 Thai baht per kilogram. But I mean, the market price is 8 or 9 Thai baht in Krabi. But if we are talking about a Bangkok price or Dr. Somthai price, it is now 12. So we need to take that 12 as the beginning. We take all the labor work, or I mean the on-cost that being involved with our business. And then the price in Krabi now at the moment at 9 Thai baht per kilogram. And for the local collector, they're going to buy from the fishermen population, or people from the island from 1 to 2 baht. So they earn a lot of profit while they are selling assets 9 baht. So we talk to them. Now we are as a team. And for instead of getting 9 baht, you will get 5 Thai baht more. That will be 14. So this 14, we don't want to just give it to only the collector. If we give to the local collector, that means the projects will be deserted someday, to be honest. But we need to tell them that all the money that we give it to you, please could you give to the collector? So we're going to have set up the meeting is local committee in order to just spread the word to everyone to know that now we are running the project for 7 years. And everyone from the ocean, the village, or even the city will be part of our project. So now this is the market price. This is the price with incentivized from us. And what is the local collector need to take it. So that is, and we go and tell them, and we record every time when they come. It's like our normal activity. So that is one of the social activity to talk to them. Then we sit down and talk like what I'm telling you, how we make the projects happen and bigger, because we have been successfully running the project in Krabi and in Ranong. Last year in Ranong, we sold the plastic credit to the second line, that is the French company, who sell further to the Caudalie, Corine, and Nestle. In Ranong, we collected 130 tons, but instead in Krabi, we collect about 340 tons, only 4 months, or only 5 months. So I mean, only 5 months we collected already 340 tons. So that's not easy. And then we propose to them that this year we're going to get bigger. And how we can get bigger? First, we need to get the money. We need to get the incentive from the brand. And the guy that works with us need to go and talk to another industry in Europe, for example, like Nestle and L'Oreal at the moment. L'Oreal come to us because that is the French company too. And they said that every year we spending more than 2,000 or 1,000 tons of plastic to make the shampoo, to make the cost, consumer products. And how we can join your projects? That what we heard. And we said that, okay, now we become bigger. And when we become bigger, we will be survive, and our collector will be survive too. And at the end, the ocean will be survive from the plastic, because at the moment we're collecting at least 50,000 tons per day from every plastic. And then we tell them what your requirement to prove or to buy it to us. So that come to, certification. So we need to apply like an ISO, but that is the plastic certification, like a CO2 certification. That will be the first in the world that we certify. Second line and us as second line as the main main collector. And we are at the second, the collector, local collector. We apply together. We've been audited together, and we'll be the first certified plastic credit in the world, I think. And last week we just done the certification process. So now what we are going to sell to the collector, to sell to the recycler. We ask them first, we need to collect, that is the credit. So we separate the credits into 3 credits instead of buying just only raw material. Now we are selling the credit that is second plus. If I'm talking about incentive, first we buy at 10 and we have 5 Thai baht as incentive to the collector. But now we have something else. We said that the collecting credit, we apply for collecting credit, but the credits complies with the 3 different credit. The first, that is collecting. Second, that is sorting. Sorting means sorting all the different or the same plastic to be together. You can mix or add the value added. Instead of just dump everything at one place and go and sell to the market or the center, you need to just sort all the plastic, and then you can make probably 100% more of your value added. Don't just go with all the plastic together. So you need to know what is the PET bottle, what is the PP bottle, what is the milk bottle, and that is what we talk to them. And we also apply for another credit. Another credit is about recycling credit. Why we make or change all the plastic into the flake or the pallet, and we send to the manufacturer who make shoe, shirts, and whatsoever. So now we are trying to go to the end of the user, and then by having international connection or networking, we got to know other European or American company in Thailand. One example is ESTA. ESTA is German company who makes electrical appliance from ABS plastic, and the CEO of the Thai office just come to us and join our beach cleanup. What we did is that every time when we have the monsoon or we have a lot of waste from the ocean on the beach, we go and invite school, invite volunteer, invite population, hotel, etc. to join our program. Like you can see from my video, next video, that we go and clean the beach together. Why we buy all the collecting material, all the material that we have from the beach ourselves? We pay donation or we donate to school. We pay for ring and so on. Try to get everyone involved in that. That is our word that we are now coming, and we are still with them for 7 years of our projects, and that is activity, next activity, and we start the projects. They will collect, if you can see the plastic here, we have so many plastic that is different, but they sorted at home. If they need to get more money, this is the area that we've been working previously. I mean, if you are looking at the map, Malaysia is actually underneath, and we have now previously we have like 7 locations in different beach. And if you are looking at the right hand side, now we expand to Phuket and Phang and also Trang, that is Andaman Sea, to expand our projects more. And in the future, all the dots that we are trying to connect, we're going to work together with the people locally, the governmental department, and the local organization, and so on. So I mean, now every dot that you can see from the number that I show to the right hand side, we've been discussing and talking to them already. This is a project for 2022, and for 2021. The volume that we've been granted, or we got the credit. I mean, the credit is just, some of the money that we can run the projects, but that is a lot of added value to the collector. But I mean, we are getting about, when we certify with Second Life, we will get 550,000 US$ for 1 ton of plastic. So that what we sell to the European industry or fashion brand. So, I mean, this is what we've been now working together with local partner. I mean, so that's why I have my office in Krabi, in Trang, in Phuket, and in Ranong. So we have been working with our collector, administrator, and so on. So there is some kind of plastic that the ocean, when you go to the ocean, or even from your house, if we are looking at the plastic at the moment, you can see that you have PET pad, you have PET screen, printed screen, if you have, and you have the PP and PE. The PET, I don't have to explain. I think everyone knows about the drinking water bottle making from the PET, and the PET screen now is cheaper. You can just print the screen instead of having the label on the bottle. And the PP, that is all like a chairs and other plastic container, about jar and whatsoever, or RPP, and that is abundance. And you have a lot in your locally or municipality, and PE. PE is like some other blend of some other plastic, like milk container, for instance, and the like, that makes more money, because the PE, if we sell now, is about 24 Thai baht per kilogram. So that is the value added for you when you go on the beach. If you understand how you can sort different kind of plastic, you will make more money. So without incentive, from Thailand, I can say from the first row, the PET PET, the market price in Bangkok now about 12 Thai baht per kilogram. Printed screen, the price at the moment about 6 Thai baht per kilogram. And the PP, that is, share about more than 50% of the plastic stream. Cost, or we can sell about 11 Thai baht per kilogram. Why the PE? We can sell with 24 Thai baht per kilogram. That is about, the plastic. When we want to add more value, you need to make them in the smaller piece by cutting them, cleansing them. That is like a normal, a local activity. But when we are talking about the industry, we have the fake factory where we have the cheddar. We can cut the plastic, or the same plastic, about 3 tons per hour, and with the cleaning plastic, and we can sell with more money. So I mean, if we make it more further, or I mean, if you guys want to make the flake, at least you can have 6 Thai baht more on top of the plastic, normal plastic. Let's say, for example, if we are buying PET with 12, you can sell the flake with 17. But Dr. Somthai doesn't want you to make the flake if you don't have incentive like me, because making that flake from the PET, you lost a lot of so you can see that if you go further, you can make more value added from this factory. At least, for example, if we are trading the PE, if you are like school, you have a lot of meals container or the like, you can trade them and you can sell with 32 at the moment for the flakes. And then turn into the second row. We are talking about rope. The rope, previously we got no price, or it's really cheap because no one go and collect them, because it's like really, a mix between a raw fishing net and non-recyclable rope, and it's come with a really messy. And previously they dumped to the sea. And what we can see, if you go and walk to the beach, you can see a lot of rope, you can see a lot of foam, you can see a lot of fishing net, because that is no cost or even really cheap. So what we are looking and trying to tell them, we ask them, now you need to go and collect them. First, you have our incentive for 5 baht too. And if you want to get more money, you just go and sort them, because the rope is made up from the plastic too. The plastic of the rope is different. So if we are talking about, let's say, for example, you are talking about poly rope that made of the PP, and a lot of industry that they use that rope to work or something else. When we are talking about fishing net, that is the net they are making from the PE. The fishing net is more expensive. So if everyone or every collector or every local people like us want to go and collect some these rope from the ocean, from the beach, or even from somewhere else, you have to know that you need to sort it. If you sort it, I mean, simply sort it, not really difficult work. Try to make or get them out with the mixed stream of the rope. you can get more like a 6 Thai baht. We add 5 Thai baht more, 6 to 7. Now, I mean, everyone, if you can see from my previous picture, we got a lot of growth. At the moment, a lot of people, organization, for example, we have Environmental Justice Foundation, EJF from London. They went to us because of the connection that we have the dot. They went to us and they asked if we can just collect all the rope and we can apply or sell to some other partner. For example, what I have experience with, when we have the rope, first we ask for the credit. The second, we ask if the final recycler. Let's say, for example, last time we've been in touch with IKEA, that is Swedish furniture, the giant brand. I think you probably know. IKEA is one of the giant furniture brand, and they are really trying to contribute to sustainable products. And they, I mean, as I say, COVID now is like speed up the process of the sustainability to be in place. And IKEA just come to us and sell that and say that not come to us, come to our partner that is who make the pallet. So we ask our partner who are in Bangkok or in Chachoengsao to come to us and join our project to see that, okay, this is a really 100% ocean material or plastic. If you make the pallet from this poly rope and send to the IKEA, IKEA will make, for example, like a photo frame or whatsoever, and they can sell the person who are really care about environment. And then we certify from the beginning that we collecting from the ocean. So we can tell the collector that now what you can do is that if you do further work, you just go on, instead of sorting, if you clean them, I can show you that when we got a lot of rope, we have a lot of shell, you know, we have a lot of ocean material that together with the rope, like a sand and whatsoever. And we said that, okay, in the past, we are just asking you not really add the sand for, you know, more than 3% of the total waste. We still accept, but I mean, if you have just only sand, no. It need to be careful. We need to teach them how they need to clean them, how they need to separate. We call the simple separation. And then I'll tell them, now going to the next step, because we can make more valuable or we can make more money from our work. So let's say, for example, you just go and clean them. At least you just sorted only poly rope 100% to us and clean all the sand out of the rope. Then we pay you 3 baht more. So that is from the connection and from the end user, the buyer, that come to be part of our project. So now at the moment, I think more than 50% of the rope in the Andaman coastline is with us. So I mean, we collect all the rope, and now we are placing at our place in order to, I'm not selling locally. Now I'm keeping, because I'm waiting someday who are really care and think about environment like me, like us, come and sell, because we are not selling cheap. We are selling expensive because we pay a lot for the collection. We pay a lot for sorting. We pay a lot for cleaning and etc. So that what we make value added. And then when we collect them, we cannot reveal or we cannot tell them that you cannot just take, you know, it's like a flooding plastic material on the sea where they just, you know, parking and fishing and so on and so forth. So when we say that, okay, we found a lot when we do the beach cleanup. For example, we do a beach cleanup but at one island, and we found that a lot of fishing net, a lot of lighter. You don't believe, nobody, I mean, I don't believe a second that why they just go to the ocean and leave their flip-flop. I mean, Dr. Somthai told me it might be from tsunami. So I say probably yes, but I have now 200 tons of the flip-flop. So I have the mountain of the flip-flop at my place. So we feel like, oh, at least if we buy them, but we cannot sell them. And why we need to do? First, I said that, okay, just buying and take them from the ocean to the land and then dispose off to the landfill. That is the first concept. Then we told them, just go and pick up every non-recyclable. On the market, you cannot sell it, but I'm buying. I buy with the 3 Thai baht for you. Bring it to me instead of throwing to the ocean. Just bring it back to the land. And last year, we have 65 for 5 months of non-recyclable. And that is one of the team that we have in one of the island that we have. And this is the collector. Why we are running the program? First, we need to understand, and we need to make it clear that the local collector will get them, not, the middleman. So we need to do the registration. Everyone who want to join the program need to register with our system. First, we need to know that you are originally from East Island that we have the program. We don't want to bring all the plastic from the touristic. Now we need to put into different market now. One that is we are selling the credit to the fashion brand, that is the collection credit. The collection credit, the brand want to get it from the really, remote island where it's difficult to clean the beach and so on. That is the more remote, the more expensive. So that means if we go further to the remote area, or it's like really difficult for the collector to collect, we buy, for example, in Surin Island. My colleague, Dr. Michel Pardos, you saw from the video, he bought it for 20 to 40 Thai baht. And then we pay for the boats, we pay for everything because it's difficult. It's difficult for them to come from Surin Island to our station in Ranong. So that is the local collector. And then we ask them to come, and every time when they come, we need to take a photo. We need to make sure that we got from the remote island that we are looking for. Most of the time, a lot of plastic, actually, the collection, previously when we are really popular or before COVID, we are the tourist destination for European people. We have a lot from the touristic area, for example, like Ao Nang and so on. So from the collection credit, if we collect from the these touristic areas, so it's not really, considered as a credit. But from the recycling that we are selling to the manufacturer, we can sell them, because that is notion about this. That is a little bit further, but it's not about you, but you can at least collect all what you get. And every time when they come, for example, now, those people you saw from my screen, that is just only from one island we call Got Lanta. Or a lot of people working in the hotel industry or hotel business, they got unemployed from the COVID situation. In the past, we have just only 4 collectors. At the moment, we have 35. So that means everyone got unemployed, and they go and collect waste, and they go for, collect waste from the beach, collect waste from the community and so on. And they brought it to us. So this is one of the activity that we did. We try to tell everyone, just go and clean the beach. That is like our slogan, our scheme. You go and try to clean the beach in order to tell everyone to give some funding to school, from the society and so on. And at the end, we send this photo to our sponsor. It's like our financial, like quarterly. And then it is some activity on daily basis. And you don't believe at the moment, the beach has been occupied by ease of the collector. Everyone just go and do jogging, or even, when they got no job, you can see a lot of foam coming from the ocean. We buy everything. If you want to just get it to us, if it is plastic, we buy it. If it is, for example, you're looking at the bags on the left-hand side, that bag actually is really cheap for us. We are buying with 4 Thai baht with the incentive. So we make our word with very clear, very precise, and very transparent. So everyone just come if you are looking at this every day, every trip, every time. When they come, we need to take a photo. We need to tell them, for example, if you are looking at the left-hand side that we have a row, they sorted, they make a simple sorted. So from that, they can get already 6 or 7 Thai baht per kilogram. So that means the subsidy or the incentive for 5 baht, and we are buying for 2 baht. And then then we also employ at the moment, I have about 70 employee with this, about 20 news, and they are just, you know, women who are unemployed from the hotel industry. Just go and sorted my rope. By doing that, we are paying them, you know, per kilogram and per daily basis. I mean, if they are keen to do more, then you can just get by kilogram, and we get the sorting credit for another 3 baht per kilogram. We keep all the 3 baht to the unemployment people to just do a work. So now, I mean, we have a lot of people who've been working with us to sort all the material with us. And this is the story from Lanta that I'm going to show you a video before we are, I think we need to have a break at 11 o'clock your time. So before going to the breaks, I will share one video that we've been recording before Christmas. Can I show video, Michelle?
Yes, please proceed.
Okay. Did you see my video?
Yes, there's sound
Okay.
as well.
Okay. The leader or the mayor of the Landa Island. So he's been working really hard, putting his time and effort in collecting, motivating his villager. He's trying to wrap up, he's trying to go on the beach. Why he went for exercise every day, every morning and every evening in order to catch up or in order to collect all the flip-flop, all the fitness and all the rope that coming from the ocean. So we would like to admire him today. He bring what he had received. So I think today is about up to 10 tons, I think, for the rope and for the fitness. And also the fishing nets and the flip-flop and whatsoever here we have here. We'll be going to the process of the proper recycling. So this is, we would like to thank you all our sponsor, that is the Quarterly. They pay for us for the incentive to get more money to pay to the fishermen, poor people, the collector, the recycler. So if we are now trying to collect all the plastic from the ocean, not only that we are saving the microplastic leaking or leakage to the ocean, but we are trying to reduce all the climate change, or we try to reduce the carbon dioxide gas, that is the greenhouse gas emitted to the environment. So I would like to say that in the future, what we are aiming for, we are looking for a circular economy, and this is the base, or we can just say that this is the hero island that had been working really hard during the past 3 months. So we achieved more than 70 tons. In the future, what we are aiming for, that is the plastic that you see in front of our factory. We are going to send to Switzerland, to Tidy. Tidy, they're going to transform and change the plastic to the pallet and send the pallets to the company or the manufacturer who are making shoes, chairs, and whatsoever. In the future, we are trying to claim back all the carbon dioxide footprints. We are now recycling and saving all the resources from the fossil fuel. So in the future, whoever coming to sell or coming to bring all the material recycling to us, not only they are getting some money, they will get more for the carbon saving. So in the future, giving you 2 hands, putting your hand, bringing all the waste, all the ocean waste, plastic waste, not only you save the planet, not only you get the money, but also you get more the climate reduction or reduce the climate change emitted or the greenhouse gas emission to the world. So that is what we are aiming for in the future whatsoever, that getting into the recycling, we are reducing the climate. So we are aiming to sell or to buy the CO2, or we are going to sell the CO2 for the manufacturer in the world. So today I would like to thank you, the Lanta prefect or the mayor in Thailand, we call the Nai Amper. He had been working really hard, so I would like to just say thank you to him. And in the future, we are looking forward to welcome more 100 tons from him. And I believe next year we get it. So thank you very much.
อย่าใช้เวลาในการหายใจไปเปล่าๆปี้ๆนะครับเดินริมชายหาดเก็บขยะเหล่านี้มานะครับเป็นเงินทั้งนั้นครับขยะคือทรัพย์สมบัติอันล้ำค่าจากมหาสมุทรครับ
Question. Probably we can leave the floor at the end of my presentation, and I can explain to you all about your question that you may have. So at the end of my presentation, I'm going to show the sample or an example of the ocean plastic that we have been collected, and about our future work and about our future possibility. And then you will know about how to make how to get the money, or how to make the added money. So the first, that is only the first area that we been working, that is the Beckett Island, that we have so many villages inside, that is called Lanta. So when we talk about another island, we have Got Siboya, Got Hang. If you can see from the Google map, we have on the pinpoint, and we have Got Jam, Got Bu, and also we add Got PP too, because a guy from Got Jam and Got Bu and Got Hang, or the neighbor island, they went about the fishermen. They went also to do some business of fishing close to Got Lanta, to Got PP. So we tell them, you can go, instead of doing your fishing work or hunting fish or sea animal or whatsoever, you go and collect all the plastic, all the ropes, all the waste that I say. And we did the same model that we did in Got Lanta. And then we also have them register at our system. In order to just, make sure that everyone to be part of our projects, we also tell them, if you are buying only plastic, or we are buying just only plastic, it's not really, because this island, they need to take at least 1 hour with the long tail boats, and it's not really, worth for the money that they are getting from the plastic. So we pay a lot for the plastic. And in addition to that, we tell them too, or every recycling material they may bring from the island or from their island. We buy everything with the price in Bangkok, or probably cheaper than 1 or 2% for our 10% for our transportation and etc. So and now we have a lot of collector from East Island, and I mean, their work is like a fisherman. They go hunting fish, sea animal, octopus, and whatsoever every day and night. And now they do some other work, probably some chain work to collect all the plastic. So if you can see like this, from the beach and the pier, they takes the waste or the plastic or everything from the ocean. We are not limited for just only the plastic. We also open for combustible waste that will come to the other item that I'm going to end up my presentation at the end. So we tell them, if you want to survive, we buy everything, or not only plastic, we buy some other non-recyclable waste that we cannot recycle. Let's say, for example, plastic bag. That is, we have the campaign in Thailand at the moment for the anti-plastic bag. So we also welcome or receive all the other waste for them at our side. We are buying with from some island that is really remote area. We are buying with 4 Thai baht. In the past, they cannot sell that kind of non-recyclable. As a result, they throw it to the river, to the ocean. So because or some other people, they burn it on the ocean. They burn it on the island. And that caused a lot of environmental impact. So we now at the moment, I can tell you guys that if we are talking about all the waste stream or the plastic, at least 20% of plastic that are non-recyclable. And in the past, that those non-recyclable, we cannot make business because nobody buy it. As a result, we need to burn it, or we need to dump to the landfill, or we need to landfilling them. But I mean, on the island, they cannot do that. They need to burn it. And burning is really, damage. I mean, we cannot say other word rather than just that is not really proper way of waste management. And this is one of activity we did. We did it almost every 3 or 4 times per year. Every season of our monsoon season, before semester, and we just ask. This is an example of the island that is a really remote area where we can access just only going by the long-tail boats and a lot of stone. The island is called Stone Island, the Black Stone Island. And there were a lot of plastic foam and ocean plastic from the past. I mean, I don't know how many years, but they burn it every now and then. And we asked all the ladies to just, or the student, or I mean, everyone, the collector, to go and collect it for us. We buy everything. And when they send to us, we will send our trucks and probably our partner to just go and bring it back to our factory. So, I mean, you can see from the long-tail boats, for the whole boat, we can say that you can carry not more than 300 kilograms for the plastic. So, I mean, this resulting for people doesn't want, I mean, every collector don't want to bring it back to the land. They just want to burn on the ocean. And if we want to make a bale in order to press all the plastic from the ocean, they cannot carry by boat because that is really heavy. So, I mean, for those who are really having some kind of idea to just compress them into the, into the bale, we also buying them more expensive, like a 1 baht more, because they can save the cost of transportation. And this is an example of the fishermen. They use the same long-tail fish, long-tail boats they use for fishing. They use for doing their fisherman work by delivering our plastic and recycling. If you are looking or you are zoom in into the waste, you can see that we have the PET bottle. We have the PP, that is the color of the plastic. We have the fishing net, and we have the flip-flop. The flip-flop in this work or in this program, we call the waste that we buy for 4 Thai baht for this island. And if you are looking at this, if they sorted and make a simple clean, we are buying with 7 Thai baht from this kind of rope. This is a poly rope. It made up from the PP plastic. So when we are, they just come and bring it to us, to the pier. We will be the collector. We will send our picking of our truck to pick it up. And when you are looking at the long tail boats, we have not just only the fishing net, but the fishing net and the rope is a little bit heavier comparing to other plastic. We have also the PP plastic. The PP plastic now at the moment, we are selling to the manufacturer in domestic. We have just only the credit for collecting. Still, we are still trying to talk to the Swiss company in Singapore who are actually making the artificial grasses and tennis courts and so on and so forth to just contribute their work and buying our PP plastic. So that will be the future project that we try to sell our PP plastic, and we can get more because PP is quite heavier comparing to the PET. And this is another example because we got, you don't believe when we have something valuable, we got everyday trip for the plastic delivery. So we have like now full-time of work with our employee. Why people are unemployed with their situation or our situation of COVID? For us, we do work every day. We don't even, we have just only Sunday off. And a lot of people coming to work with us because we need more people, we need more work, we need more collector. The more they collect, the more money they get. So I mean, that is our work. You can see that is the long tail boat. Instead of going hunting or fishing, they delivering us the plastic. And now from the COVID situation, and some of the guys who are working as a fisherman, they cannot sell the fish with more expensive like previous time, because the consumption of the fish or the seafood now is not really, coming on peaks like when we have the tourist destination like before. So our program is trying to fulfill the unemployment and activity for the young lady, for example. Most of 90% of the collector from the ocean for us, we are the Thai Muslim. And for the women, they got a lot of work to do at home. And we try to produce, or we try to promote to the cosmetic brand in Europe that they are making the cosmetics that is used for the women. So now we use the women to work. So it makes sense for them to pay our incentive to the women. So that is Caudalie and Corinne, one of our buyer, feel really appreciate with our work. So the same with some other island. We do the same thing, try to invite students, try to invite a community and register them as our collector. So previously, a lot of people just laughing on me and saying that, you are just lying to people and collectors. We don't believe that you can sell the credit. So I mean, because I've been working as a consultant and professor in university. I know I know what is happening in Europe, or what had happened in Europe, and I know what is the trend of the world. And I feel like, oh, probably you don't know, but now you know. The people who are collecting all the waste or the plastic, they were really happy with us. If this is one example from Muslim school, we went to there because they have a lot of students, and we ask students to go and collect instead of just wasting their time every minute. Just go and trying to collect all the plastic, and they send it to us, and we pay for not just only the scholarship for the student, we buy for the plastic with the incentive, and we buy for the waste. So every now and then we got every truck. You can see this is from one of the island, from Got Grang in China, in Krabi. We have so many islands, and this is one of the biggest islands in Krabi. So you can see that from the long tail boat, Sometimes they come with the two boats and with so many things. And what they did, we go and tell them, first at home, you can just, for example, trying to sort the weight, what is the recyclable, what is not. The recyclable, you can make the money. Non-recyclable, you can also make the money. Please don't burn them. Please don't bully them or dumping to the forest or to the ocean. And I asked them to understand how they separate or sort different kind of waste. Like this, you can see the fishing net on top of the trucks. We asked them, if you sort this fishing net, you can get 8 Thai baht. Instead of having 1 Thai baht, you have 7 baht more. So that means the poly ropes, that is the PP, is made of PP plastic. If you sort it underneath of the fishing net, you can get 7 baht. So, but at the fishing net, you get more. If you look at, the ropes that is like the straw rope, that is non-recyclable. On the top front, that is the rope made of non-recyclable material. They cannot sell it. But in the past, if they mix them together, that means the waste they need to dump to the landfill. And by having this, they can earn more than daily income or daily salary that they got from the hotel. So this is one example. You can see that on the boats, they separate and sorted the fishing net. That is the poly net. We can send to the manufacturer who make the PE pallet. Why they making the PE pallet? We can make the added value for the recycle. As I told you, we have the 3 credit. And on top, on the roof of the boat, you can see that we have a PP plastic. We have a mixed color. The mixed color PP now, we are dealing with the guy in Rayong. They make the pallet from pallets from this PP. So we are now extend our collaboration for our partner in order to just use all the plastic and get them all. If you are looking, this is the previous picture, but now we have more than 100 tons of plastic at our site. This is the previous picture that I told you. All of the plastic bale, it came from the ocean or the ocean bound. So the capital or the cost of buying now, previously we buy it with 13 or 14 Thai bahts. But the market in Bangkok, if we send to the Bangkok, it costs now, we can sell with 14 Thai baht. So if you look at that, that means we can sell more expensive than the market. So then a lot of people want to go and get it. You can see, for example, of this rope, it mixed up with everything. In the past, if we have some mixed ropes like this, we buy it only 2 Thai baht because we need to get some people who can work and sort it 100 kilograms per day. And we pay for a daily wage or daily salary. So previously it is 2 Thai baht, but at the moment, if you mix them, we buy 6 Thai baht. That is additional cost that we pay for them. And if you do further work, trying to sort and separate different kind of rope, you get another 3 baht more. That is our campaign. And that is one of the picture why we had a visit from IUCN, that we agreed to collaborate to work in Koh Yao, in Phuket and Phang Nga and Drang together with IUCN and our organization. So they feel really, inspired with our activity, and they are really like to join with us. This is a waste. So if you are looking at this, if it is in the ocean or close to your house, you will burn it because it is no money to buy it. So I'm asking all the people for, in terms of the the government, they need to pay another. Let's say, for example, they need to pay for the collection for like a 0.8 Thai baht per kilogram. And they need to pay for disposal about another 0.8 per kilogram, like 800 Thai baht per ton. So I mean, this is to dispose or to just manage and dump to the landfill. And you can see how difficult to sort it out, because there are a lot mixed up with recyclable and non-recyclable. So I mean, we can just tell or talk about this like, you know, all non-recyclable, because we need to burn it. It's difficult to just dig into it and sort it. That means you need to put a lot of men and machine and also money. You need to have 3M, man, machine, money, and management, probably 4M. So it's difficult. And we tell them, don't burn it or don't dump to the ocean. Bring it to me. I will buy for 4 Thai baht per kilogram. In the beginning, we also get this picture and to sell to them, to sell to our partner, that we want to dump to the landfill. And I mean, for me, actually, I've been teaching for renewable energy for the whole life while I was the professor in university, 50%. Yeah, not 50%, but fully professor. And in Europe, we need to just buy the household waste from London, from England, from UK, in order to make the fuel. So we tell them, I have a dream when I came back to Thailand. I have a dream when I go to the landfilling site. And I mean, and I met Dr. Somthai. Dr. Somthai and we are actually having the same mindset, that we believe that all the waste is resources. And then we are one of the group of Thailand trying to just, you know, implement and try to see opportunity to use this kind of non-recyclable waste. Previously, we need to get and open a lot of landfills. You don't believe that we have more than 3,000 landfills throughout the country. And every landfill, I mean, I don't know in Malaysia, but probably I think it's the same in Southeast Asia. Landfilling in Europe is now illegal. And landfilling in Europe, we can say that landfilling is not really, in Europe, when they say landfilling, it is landfilling. Landfilling means you have a proper protection, like a layer, sand, and whatsoever, to protect all the leakages, all the leaches, all the water from the waste going down to the groundwater. But I mean, for us, we just dig into the hole and then we just dump all the waste in, and we just, you know, that is not really proper. So what we have in mind, that we want to get them back, and we want to make the fuel. That is come to the RDF. And you can just look at this. I don't believe a second, you know, when I went to the ocean, why a lot of flip-flop? And I mean, we have tsunami like just 5 or 7 years ago, but this flip-flop should have been gone, but still now. You don't believe I have a mountain of flip-flop at my factory. Now I need to expand more factory in order to keep this kind of waste. I asked people, I told them, you go to the beach. Previously, you found this kind of flip-flop and you throw it to the ocean. But instead now you bring it to me, you get 3 or 4 baht. And what I'm planning, this flip-flop actually, some mess up the plastic, but some is not. So I need to mix them and make the fuel. If they can burn, we can make the fuel, because that is, I mean, make the fuel is one last choice for us to be recycled. You know, the recycle actually in Europe, we are not just talking about recycle by up recycling or, you know, making recycling. Making the fuel to make the RDF, we also call them recycling, because this kind of material, I mean, if we are talking honestly speaking, not every material that we use at home, we can just do the recycling. Some that is the kitchen waste that we need to make the fertilizer or composting or whatsoever. And some that is combustible waste that you cannot make any recycling or upcycling. We can do whatever we can. And then the rest, we don't want to dump to the landfill. So we need to make the fuel sent to the electrical. And the electrical in Europe, I mean, for example, the thermal industry, when they use this fuel, they got the subsidy from the government. That will be our Asian future that the government need to find and get it. By doing that, I need to have another machine. I need to have another process to make it to smaller piece, to change them into the smaller piece from this from and mix with some other non-recyclable waste. So this is the supply that we have from Wongpanit at the moment. So if I'm looking more for you to see about, let me just see and talk about the and the waste a little bit. If you are looking at my presentation, every combustible waste, now you know almost everything. Now you know that what you can sell, that I'm going to show you more about material in a few minutes. And that is the pellets. You know or not, you believe it or not, when I was working in Europe as a consultant, we buy the pellet from Canada. It's very expensive in order to contribute to sustainable solution. So I mean, in the future, the rich man or the rich factory who are rich, they need to take this kind of energy to burn in their thermal system and so on. So, and this is one of our activity that we propose to Thai government and to the industry. This is the electrical power plant that join with us in our program. Now they are in stock market, and we are part of their, we are a partner who supply them our fuel. So this is our resources. We take these resources and come to make the RDF. You can see the right hand side. That is in Sweden. I can tell you that every city we have incineration. So if we talk that Sweden is one of the best sustainable energy city in the world, I can say, we still have incineration with energy recovery. So we are not burning open burning. We use the control burn and make electricity and steam. The steam we use for heating, electricity we use for electrical appliance, and also during the summer, the incineration cannot work because it's hot now from the climate change, and then the hot water from incineration need to stop, and we need, we feel for this renewable energy or fuel. What we did, that is one of my project while I was a professor in university. We use heat-driven cooling. That means we use air conditioning driven from this hot water. This hot water is very low. You can see this is my one example that we use steam for power generation. And one last video that I have, Dr. Sometime might show you all the video that he have, but I will show you the very simple, for example, the process that I have about the, Michelle, have you seen the introduction video of RDF from Dr. Somthai?
Yeah, yes, we have. Yesterday.
Okay, so I will make it short for my process. In the future, we did it already. Now I'm selling this RDF to the credit in Europe. Now I got another, one ringgit or about another Thai baht in order to make this as a fuel. In order to make this, I'm now making my warehouse and ordering my RDF machine. So I'm going to have a raw and model for RDF factory in our city, in Krabi. So if you have time in the future to come to my factory, you can see what we have. It's like circular economy. So when we are talking, I used to be, I had been invited to speak about economy, circular economy for AIT student, and I think there are some students from Malaysia too joining the program of Asia Institute of Technology. So I'm talking about circular economy. That means we go from the first source, and then when we end up with the product, we want to have a circle. A circle means that, if we are talking just only getting money, and now we want to make the circle of the circular economy. So I have one last video for my RDF. Just give me a second. I will show my video. Have you seen it?
Yeah, you can proceed.
Yeah, this is a very simple. You know, you can. I mean, I'm not going to a really complex industry to make this kind of process, but I mean, every one of you, if you have some, you know, some idea, and I mean, mechanical or technical background, it can make very simple to make the fuel. Let's go and see. It is in time, but I mean, I'm sorry, I don't have English version, but I will explain to you later.
เครื่องจักรผลิต RDF เครื่องนี้ถูกออกแบบมาเป็นพิเศษมีประสิทธิภาพกำลังการผลิต40ตันต่อวันหรือประมาณ2ตันต่อชั่วโมงใช้แรงงาน4คนมีระบบการผลิต4ขั้นตอนขั้นตอนที่1ตรวจสอบขยะอันตรายที่ปะปนออกเสียก่อนเป็นจุดแรกขั้นตอนที่2ทำการคัดแยกวัสดุรีไซเคิลประเภทพลาสติกอลูมิเนียมขวดแก้วเศษเหล็กโดยผ่านสายผ่านแรงงานและแม่เหล็กไฟฟ้าขั้นตอนที่3ทำการผ่านสายผ่านขั้นบันไดผ่านแม่เหล็กแผ่นเรียบแรงสูงอีกครั้งเพื่อให้แน่ใจว่าไม่มีเหล็กติดลงเครื่องบดแล้ววิ่งเข้าสู่เครื่องบดที่ทันสมัยล่าสุดเครื่องบดเครื่องนี้สามารถบดวัสดุชิ้นใหญ่ที่มีความเหนียวแข็งได้เช่นยางรถยนต์ยางรถมอเตอร์ไซค์ถุงพลาสติกก้อนแข็งเศษผ้าเศษไม้พื้นรองเท้าขยะของเทศบาลขยะอุตสาหกรรมและขยะอื่นๆขั้นตอนที่4เศษชิ้นงาน RDF ที่ได้จะผลิต RDF 2 หรือ RDF 3 ที่ได้คุณภาพผ่านการตรวจสอบด้วยสายผ่านเส้นสุดท้ายเพื่อส่งขายให้กับโรงงานปูนซีเมนต์หรือโรงงานผลิตกระแสไฟฟ้าต่อไปเทคโนโลยีเครื่องผลิต RDF เครื่องนี้ได้รับการยอมรับและใช้งานจริงจากเทศบาลโรงงานอุตสาหกรรมทั้งภาครัฐภาคเอกชนโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งโรงงาน RDF ของวงพาณิชย์ทั่วไทยทั่วโลก
Yeah, that is a very short video about RDF and about the machine. So I mean, when I'm talking about let me just show you. When I'm talking about PET, if you are looking at this, it is a PET, but it is a printed screen. Yeah, this actually it is a drinking water bottle. It's really cheap. It is 6 Thai baht. So I mean, you need to sort it like this when you go and collect them. And when I'm talking about PET, you can see like this. We have Coca-Cola and we have Pepsi too. Not just only Coca-Cola. We have a water, drinking water. We have a kitchen ingredients, and we have a sauces. We have the oil container. It is really difficult to manage, you know. If you take it out, you can get more money from this. If I'm talking about this oil, they have a different, we need to use a lot of washing or detergent in order to remove an oil. And so, I mean, by doing this, what I'm trying to ask my colleagues to do is that to remove the label of this, to remove this label, you can get more added value, you know. For example, this sticker actually, a lot is actually recycled. That means the recycle means you can get these to make the fuel, not just only the recycling for making any pallet or product. You can just take it to make the fuel or make energy. That is one of their our work. And if you separate like this, it is the PET PET bottle. And just give me a second. I'm going to find you some example that I'm preparing for you.
You can stop short while for question and answer, Doctor.
Okay. So this is a rope. And we have a floating from the ocean. You can see like this. I mean, that will be my final example or showcase. And you can see for like this, we have a shell, and we have a flip flop, and we have a buoy or the floating from the ocean. And the most important is that it is the plastic, that is the PP plastic. So that is a everyday use from your house. You can bring it and sort it. Okay, so now it's come to Mr. Augusti request about the question. So I mean, I will finish my presentation from now and open the floor from the question.